6 most weird arcade games around the world. Number 6. Wall Street. This game centered itself around the player moving a crew of firefighters equipped with a trampoline to guide falling businessmen towards a waiting ambulance, presumably ready to take them off to the hospital for observation. The arcade game dates back to 1982 and basically alludes to the Wall Street crash of 1929, which makes it crazy that this game was ever made in the first place. Even more interesting is that the stock market crash of 1987 was only a few years off as well. The real-life parallels are pretty overt, and there's no way that audiences back then were able to miss them. At a time when campaigns against anything seemingly detrimental towards children were trending in ways that they never have before or since, the idea that parents never caught wind of Wall Street is pretty impressive. That being said, the arcade scene during that time was going through a pretty big boom in the US, with plenty of random games constantly coming out, and it's not improbable to think that it could have just flew under the radar, being missed by mere chance. Number 5. Bunga Bunga. This game, which is known as Spankum, was developed in 2001 by South Korean company TAF System. It includes a bent-over posterior that players were expected to spank in order to rack up points. Even more strange is the plastic finger attachment that is there to allow users to engage in the game's other point-scoring mechanism, which is engaging in Concho. In case you don't know, Concho is a kid's prank that is popular in Japan and South Korea. It basically is performed by holding your hands together to simulate holding a gun, then attempting to insert your fingers into an unsuspecting victim's bum. As they do this, they also yell, "Concho!" to complete the strange game. We can't imagine how this trend got so popular, but it seems to be wildly so, as this game really took off in East Asia when it first came out. We think that we'd have a ton of fun playing this arcade game version of Concho, but we think the real-life game is still quite bizarre to say the least. Number 4. Snacks and Jackson. Released in 1984, this game was put out by Bally Sente and ended up having around 23 different versions that were ultimately released to the public. The whole point of the game is to attempt to eat as much food as possible in order to refuel your clown head character and get their nose lit up. Eating everything in sight isn't advised, however, as certain foodstuffs, such as green peppers, will set you back and hurt your character. It's interesting to note here that Japanese kids don't seem to be the biggest fans of green peppers as a whole. They basically take the place of broccoli or Brussels sprouts elsewhere, and kids just don't seem to want anything to do with them. The nose can also detach, and if enough food gets past the clown face, then the window shatters and it's game over. This arcade game was supposedly based on an actual clown named Merle B. Jackson. We can't imagine why a developer thought that kids would be all about helping a seriously creepy clown eat breakfast. Number 3. Densha De Go. Released in 1996, Densha De Go actually ended up being so popular that its 20th anniversary has set 2 remakes so far. One came out in 2016 and the other in 2017, with the latter reverting back to arcade style. The 2016 version works on Android and iOS, which means you can very easily try this game out for yourself if you fancy having a go. The game places you in control of a train, playing the operator, and the objective is to adhere to an insanely strict schedule or face the consequences. It's basically an arcade train simulator that requires players to achieve feats, such as stopping within a few inches of a given destination, while also being restricted to making that stop within a half a second of a given arrival time. Players also need to sound warnings for workers on the tracks ahead, giving them enough time to get out of the way, as well as not breaking any speed limits throughout their journey. Number 2. Prop Cycle. If you've ever played the helicopter game, then you'll undoubtedly notice the similarities between that and Prop Cycle, which was a Namco game that was released in 1996. The game is pretty simple for the most part, involving players sitting on a magic, flying bicycle and using the pedals to either raise or lower their character on screen in order to avoid obstacles or pick up special items along the way. The bike also tilts to allow the players to control movement from side to side, and the handlebars can be adjusted to aim the bike up or down. While this game is strange, we think it would be a ton of fun to play, and wouldn't mind getting our hands on one just to try it out. Number 1. Chochabuda Gaiushi. Developed by Taito in 2009, this game is perfect for anyone looking to blow off a little steam without causing any damage in real life. Players stand in front of a replica table and then smash their fist down on top of it in order to flip it over, with the aim of causing as much destruction as possible. Players each have 1 minute to knock as much stuff off the table as possible, tapping the table to shift objects and then finally giving it their all in a last-ditch Hulk smash. Options include different scenarios, each with their own characters sat around the table to witness your awesome fist-slamming power. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button so that you won't miss any of our future videos.